Put your hands together, people. This is Kenny's Super Bowl today. And we have a great show. We got a lot of ground to cover, but it is NHL draft night. And I have found one of the 17 people scheduled to go to the Wings draft party at the Chevy Plaza tonight, Kenny Cott.
Air quality be damned.
Yeah, it won't be in the Chevy Plaza. It'll be inside. It got moved, but that's okay.
By the way, that plaza might be cursed. Every time we plan an event, we finally were going to have an event down there. And up next, air quality. The globe smells like mesquite charcoal. Kenny, this is a big day. We have the cone drill. You know, we always joke around with Jazzy Cat and the cone, a.k.a. David dressed as a jazzy cat when he worked for a jazz station. And Kenny factually was an ice cream cone for a summer for an ice cream shop. Well, the cone, we're doing the cone drill today with Kenny Slapcott.
I like that, the cone drill.
Everything you need for the NHL draft in a 10-minute block. We are going to talk Red Wings at 3 because we need to know whether we're going to have happy tears or sad tears. Like, we need to know what we're waking up to tomorrow. And tonight's draft, I just don't know anyone who's pumped up drafting at 9 and 17. We'll get to it at 3. We got to talk about Michigan with a new tradition. I have the numbers for you on exactly to the dollar what you need to offer Cam Johnson to make the Nets choke. We'll get to all of that. But here's what we wanted to start out with, kind of get it out of the way. It is football. It is football news. Adam Schefter reporting and Pro Football Talk on this as well. Isaiah Rodgers, who we heard about, Colts defensive back, is probably going to be suspended for the year. But here's the added news. He's not the only one. According to Adam Schefter, there's a handful of players expected to receive season-long bans for gambling. Now, here's where Rodgers is egregious. And while we don't know who the other players are or what the other players did, let's use this as a guide if this works for you.
Okay.
According to reports, Rodgers had pervasive violations of the policy in June. Rodgers issued a statement saying he took full responsibility. He called it an error in judgment. Well, what is he alleged to have done? Placed over 100 bets on an account opened in the name of an associate. Several of those bets included Colts games. Big problem when you are, in fact, an Indianapolis Colt. Now, here's my question. For all the people who have said, free J-Mo, for all the people who have said J-Mo's punishment is too stiff, work with me on this. If the going rate for actually betting on football is a year, well, for J-Mo to only get a third of that penalty probably falls in line. Now, if you're telling me betting on football should be less than a year, then and only then can I have a conversation about actually going, all right, then J-Mo should be 3 games. Factually, in an 18-week season, he's missing 6 of them. Rodgers is missing the entire year. But what stuns me in this is, according to reports, anonymous players polled about the gambling rules. A whopping 4 out of 5 players do not understand the gambling rules, don't know the rules. That's incredible, considering you're an adult and your agent's an adult and your support system are adults and your player rep is an adult. Your union are adults. The people who talk to you about gambling at the rookie symposium are adults.
Right.
So here's my question. Do you think these rulings on players actually gambling on the NFL hurt the case of people who want J-Mo's 6 games reduced? And second of all, who is responsible here? Because it's clear the NFL has a real issue in how they're communicating this to players. Players clearly have an issue putting their pants on the right way. You have to have an understanding of your employment agreement. No?
No. I mean, no. You do, but at some point, Mike, if 50% of the league were having this problem, that's an NFL problem. if all a bunch of your star players were having this problem. It's an NFL problem. If we're seeing Patrick Mahomes, we're not. We're seeing a handful of people. This means you probably were on your phone or fell asleep when they were actually giving the symposium on gambling. That's not the NFL's fault. I can only, show you the door. It's up to you to walk through. I can only tell you what not to do, but if you deem this so boring, you want to be so irresponsible that I don't have time for this. Yeah, whatever. I'll figure it out. Well, guess what? You now have a year to figure your life out.
All right, so talk to me about the penalties.
I mean, the penalty.
Are you good with it?
Yeah, I mean, for J-Mo, yeah. I mean, because the Lions aren't trying to appeal this, which tells me they realize maybe we kind of got off lucky with this.
No, I think what they realize is they don't have a leg to stand on. That if the league is penalizing guys who bet on the sport a year, the base violation J-Mo committed has to have teeth to it. It has to be 6 games.
And if you appeal it, somebody may say, wait a minute. Wait, why are you only getting 6 weeks?
Right. I think J-Mo should miss 6 weeks for what seems like a very, very small violation? No, I can say that to you honestly. But I'm not the commissioner. We're working within the framework of the league. If the league is about to drop bombs on as many of a half a dozen of players for the year, I can't go to my listeners, Rico. I can't go to you guys and say, free J-Mo. Can't do it.
No, and I think J-Mo's biggest crime was not gambling. It was where he gambled. And that's clearly because you allegedly did it on team premise.
I guess I have a problem. If it's not football, why do you care? Seriously. I know. I'm not making excuses.
No, Mike. But but we are. And if it's okay, guys, you can gamble. Don't gamble on the NFL.
I know.
But if you do gamble, basically anything with the team logo on it, don't be there. Not the team bus, not the team plane, not the practice facilities. Go home.
But my question is, why does that matter? Not, again, he broke the rules, he's suspended. I'm saying it might be time for the NFL to investigate their own rules. If J-Mo had a hot tip on a horse in the 7th at Belmont today, why can't he bet it?
He can.
No, he can't.
Not in practice.
But that's my point. Why? Why does the NFL care? Why are they creating a problem for themselves? It's like towards the end of the pandemic when sports were just testing a ton for no reason.
Right.
It's like, guys, you're creating a problem here.
They are. It's ridiculous, but that's the rules that they set out there. You should be able to, so long as it's not that. But I guess they figure, how do we know?
I know.
It's maybe he got information about somebody's injured,
but if you're not betting on football, you're gone. I don't have an issue with it. But if you're J-Mo, we don't even know if he bet on sports. He may have just been playing a stupid little slot machine or something. My point is, when the league says gamble on football, gone for a year, there's really no way out when you're the guy who broke a smaller violation, because 6 games is so much less than the full season.
Right. His is gamble in the facility, 6 games.
248-539-9797. And we don't know the names of the other players yet. But Adam Schefter reporting it's going to be a handful of players this week. They're going to miss the entire year. And this is one thing Rico and I totally agree on. There is no world where a big-time quarterback ever gets busted. Like, I think there's justice and just us. Like, there's no way. I would fall over where I stand if I read a report that Pro Bowl quarterback X was suspended for the year. I just feel like they'd find a way to hide it.
Right. Or if all of a sudden there were 15 to 20 people on every team, then this is an NFL problem. We may need to go back and revisit how we presented the information. But, Mike, in anything, there's always the few people who you're not paying attention. You don't really know. You don't ask the right questions. And now, I mean, there are so many rules in place because of stupid people, because people just aren't there. I mean, it's why you have to get a thing on your coffee saying, warning, coffee is hot, because somebody decided, well, what if I just guzzled the whole thing? Well, you can't do that. You will fall yourself.
Warning on coffee?
Mike, I was being facetious.
Oh, I'm like,
work with
me,
Mike.
Work,
I
apologize.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm still in awe of the hat that it takes guts to wear that.
Why is that?
Hi. The 49ers are universally loathed as a privileged organization. You're also mocking Lions fans by wearing circus lettering that you ripped from the Lions. It's very hard. I mean, David, this is a very difficult thing to watch. He looks like he's ready to coach the D-line. And I got to look at a 49ers head all day.
It is uncomfortable to look at, especially knowing you're going to lose week 1 to the Steelers. So,
well, you Kenny Pickett.
David, I think your best hopes are covering the spread. Let's start there.
Hey, I'm going with it until we lose, okay?
Fair. But I want to hear from the people on it. 248-539-9797. David, where are you at on this?
Here's where I'm at with this. The NFL is not the only league to have a partner with gambling sites and gambling companies. So why is the NFL having so much problems and not the NBA, not the NHL, not Major League Baseball? It can't just be the players are dumb.
Yeah.
There has to be an education problem on the side of the NFL with their players, in my mind.
But once again, David, if I saw that there were 15 players on every team, then I would agree with you. But I don't see that. I see there's 53 players, 58 including the practice squad players. So let's just say 60 players.
Yes.
Of all, so that's over 100 and let's just say
You got into Harvard. Do not save him. This man brags about his admission into an Ivy League school. He can do basic math.
Of all of the 32 teams.
Yes.
With all of that,
1,800
players or so, you get 10 or to 20 that screw up. That's not the league. That's on you. Because everybody else understood. Everybody else got the assignment.
But we don't see any of that. We don't see one player getting suspended in the other leagues. Not one.
He's not wrong. I don't know that you're wrong either.
I don't think you're wrong either.
But I think David makes an interesting point here. There has to be some level of responsibility if 80% of your employees do not understand a policy. If either you're employing the dumbest people in the world or your handbook might need to get updated a little bit.
Or as you like to say, Mike.
Both things can be true.
Both things are probably true.
248-539-9797. It's draft day. Kenny is excited. We're excited. And we're all ready to be disappointed by Steve Yzerman. It's going to be a hoot. It's going to be incredible. We'll start it at 3.